Okay, so welcome to a little video guide for spectroscopy applications. We finally figured out a workaround for this new kind of conversion tool process where you have to unconvert distortion-corrected images. So as you can see, we have the MPRs running right now. There's this little icon, this reconstruction icon added in, which you'll notice now if you're doing spectroscopy. We'll make sure to put all the appropriate settings in ahead of time so that you don't have to worry about it, but you will see this little icon in your MPRs. So essentially what's going to happen is we have the multiplanar reconstruction on automatically. So you'll get the axial and coronal images in the View&Go series, and you won't have to do it. You won't have to do it with the parallel ranges application any longer. So once the T1 ends, we'll show you where everything is. Just a moment. So we're going to wait for the T1 to reconstruct. And there we go. All right, so now that it has, you can see this kind of this three stack of images here. First, you'll notice that nothing looks right. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to click on this little stack of images and drag the original T1 into the sagittal plane. And you'll know that it's the original one because it has the original name on the down here, T1 MPRs Sag P3 ISO. Now what you want to do is you'll want to drag the reconstructed images into the coronal and axial plane. So if you click on MR View&Go at the top, you'll notice here that you have the original T1 MPRs, and then you'll have this MPR coronal and MPR transversal, or same thing as axial, right? So you want to click on the MPR coronal, drag it up to the scan tab, and then into the coronal plane, and it will load in. Go back to View&Go, click on the transversal, up again and into the transversal plane or the axial plane, and it will load in. Now what you're going to do is you'll place your voxel, and this is important, on the sagittal, the original sagittal T1 image, right, which would be in the very leftmost plane. So once we click on where we want our voxel to be placed, or roughly around where we want our voxel to be placed, and we click Convert Images, everything should convert properly. And just to clarify again, so this is the sagittal view is the original T1 MPRs sagittal, and in the coronal you'll see the original sequence title with the MPR coronal tag at the end, and likewise for the transversal view as well, MPR TRA at the end here. Okay, so we've put our voxel in the original T1 sagittal view, and now we're going to click Convert Images. And what it's going to do is it's going to take all of the three planes, and it will convert each one to a non-distorted image. So now you can see it's done the conversion. We now have the original T1 sagittal ND for non-distortion, and then we have the MPR coronal and MPR transversal ND as well. And as you notice now, this isn't the localizer. These are the actual resliced T1 in the transversal and the coronal planes. And so you're able to scroll through all of the frames as well. And then we can place our voxel, right? So once we place our voxel wherever we want it, and then the rest is similar spectroscopy applications that you're used to in the XA30 version.